Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video where I will show you a set that I like. So right now we're in the Scarlet and Violet era, and I've been collecting and trying to master set every single set. The only one I haven't really started yet is the Prismatic Evolutions. I really just want to wait. I have a lot of sealed, but I kind of don't want to open it just because the pull rates are so bad. It's kind of a waste of money to open, and the prices are so high. So for now, I'll show you a much more affordable set, Paradox Rift. The full set value is probably less than $1,000. I'll give you the exact amount later in the video in the thumbnail. When I upload this, I'll show it. So, or it'll actually be there, because I'm talking in the future, but this video is in the present. So, Groudon is a sick card. I mean, just look at it. There's lava flowing. Its presence is right there in the forefront of the card, and there's not much else going on. And it looks like there's water pounding, and so new land will be created, obviously, because when lava flows, that creates new land. And I actually made a mistake of selling that card for like 55, 60 bucks back when it initially increased from its original $20 price range all the way to that. So I do got to pick it back up. And I don't have Roaring Moon yet. And other than that, I pretty much have every card. Personally, my favorite card is the Iron Valiant. I think it's way underrated compared to the Alatar. I don't really like that one that much, but people value that one, and it's double the price. I love the futuristic vibes in this set. We went over the last set in my other video, which was Temporal Forces, and that's more of a throwback prehistoric set, and this is the future set. The reason why I like Iron Valiant a lot is because there's a T-Tar in the back, and it's a robot, and there's also all those Delibirds just chilling. I think it's pretty funny, and they're also robots. And there's one actually in the very front corner of the card. I would recommend picking that card up because it's stayed stable, and it's honestly just a great card. The Steelix as tall as a three-story building, so that'll be a pretty scary Pokemon to kind of look at. And I'd be curious to see how much it weighs, just because if it's 3 stories high and it's one of those silly Pokemon that you think weighs a lot, but it's not, then that'll be pretty funny. So my other two favorite cards are the Minin and the Plussy. As you can see, Minin's team is losing, and the guy in the background is very sad and upset. So he's going to have a bad work week because his team lost. But Plussy is all happy and cheering. He's ready to go. Their team is winning. So I wonder if that actually would happen in real life, if the team actually won, or if it's like halftime, and to see who actually won the game. So the rest of the cards to me are okay, but I really like those initial cards. Personally, I really like the Mantikey, if that's how you pronounce it. This guy in the submarine just comes across it. It's very happy and cute. I actually picked that up in the PSA 10 just because it was like $50, and I'd rather have that than the raw version at 18. Another really cool card, and one that I really like, is the Swablu. It's trying to pretend to be a Wingull, just chilling with all of them, and you can barely even tell that it's there. And it's just trying to hide and chill and be a Wingull and relax with them. And it's a cute card because they're all just sitting and playing, and the one in the water below. A card that I don't really like that had a massive increase was the Brute Bonnet. I'm not sure if this website is up to date, but that card kind of skyrocketed and you could barely see it. It's like here, if you can see my cursor where I'm pointing. And then the Magby just chilling in lava, that would burn us all, but Magby is a special fire type. And I wonder if that was in the Pokemon Snap game. Remember in the vintage one where you would throw apples at Charmander and a bunch would come out during that level with the lava? So here, the Porygon 2, I guess Z, is chilling in its game room. As you see, I have kind of colors behind me, and I have a bunch of stuff in front of me, which you can't see. Maybe I'll show it. It kind of looks like this vibe. And then the rest of the cards to me are okay. The Gardevoir is a funny card, just a pile of trash. And then I always wondered why the artists do it this way. It's if you look at the Apom, it's very clay oriented, and a lot of the other ones are more neon, kind of vintage. Like this is like the Miami Vice kind of vibe, and the other cards are very realistic. But Apom is clay, so I'm thinking they should do like a whole clay looking vibe one time in the whole set. And then as we scroll through, we'll get to some of the cheaper cards, which if you're a collector, these cards are very easy to pick up and they're not yet skyrocketed in price. I love this kind of Tentacruel vibe. That's like the futuristic, they're like swamp monster. And it's cool to see the vintage Pokemon be reimagined, especially for today's kids. They get to reimagine these Pokemon. It gives Pokemon new creativity to go with some different direction instead of creating new Pokemon like just a pair of keys or an anchor. Um, some other cards, these cards aren't as favorited, but if you're trying to master set, it's very affordable. Gold cards surprise me because they're like $4, but they're the hardest to pull. So other than like the Pikachu and a few gold cards from other sets, gold cards really don't have that much value. So if you like them, then pick them up because sometimes they start off really strong and then drop down. So get them, like, give it time for those cards. Usually they don't hold their value, and no one wants to spend $50 for to go down to $10. And then, as you see, just some of the regular cards, always just a few dollars. So if you go to your local card shop, go through the binder, even go on like eBay and just click and buy these. Yeah, that's what you wanted to do. And so that to me is one of the more average sets in Paradox, but it's also one of the more affordable ones. So if you're into Pokemon, really consider this set because all the other ones, a lot of them are very overpriced cards, especially considering how many there are in the market and how many people are actually hoarding. And so when Pokemon becomes less popular, which sometimes it does for a period of a few years at a time, you might see an offloading. I know right now we're all at a crazy hype, and I've been in the game since like 2011, heavily buying vintage, and packs were still $20 back then for vintage, and it took until 2021 practically for that vintage pack to go from 20 to 300. So imagine it sat at $20 for 1999 all the way until 2011, just to then basically 5x, 10x in price. So hopefully we see a period where collectors can come back in the game. But I will share another Scarlet Violet with you all later on. So please, if you want, comment your favorite set, and then I will check that one out. Thanks.